Cinemas are closed in many parts of the world, but that hasn't stopped the Hollywood awards season from getting underway, and for the first time ever, 3 women have been nominated in the Best Director category at the Golden Globes. Friend of the show and film critic for the Radio Times and the Metro, James Luxford, is here with the lowdown. Hey James, you okay?
I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. So, good day for British nominations, I see.
It really is. Riz Ahmed, Carey Mulligan, Vanessa Kirby, Sir Anthony Hopkins were among the film nominees. And of course, nominations in the TV categories for Normal People's Daisy Edgar Jones. And of course, the stars of The Crown, the hugely popular Netflix series. Emerald Fennell bagged a Best Director nomination for her debut, The Promising Young Woman, while Gary Oldman was recognised for his leading role in Mank, following on a few years ago from winning the Golden Globe and an Oscar for Darkest Hour. Daniel Kaluuya received a nod for Judas and the Black Messiah, playing the leader of the Black Panthers, and I think he's terrific in that. Elsewhere, a sad nomination, but a very apt one for Chadwick Boseman. Sad because of the context. He obviously passed away last summer and earned a posthumous Best Actor nomination for The Five Bloods, and Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and Frances McDormand and Glenn Close were also recognised.
So we've got a lot of people. I think we're going to watch this even more than we normally would, because we obviously want to see what it's like because of the pandemic and, how they're going to do awards nights like this. But then also, we have been watching TV like never before. Like, it's the only thing to do. And I was looking at Normal People. That must get an award, because that was what people were talking about in the first lockdown, maybe even just before that. Has Paul Mescal been nominated at all, James?
I'm not. I don't have it here. I'm
not sure he
so.
has. No, he didn't.
No, I
Apparently.
don't
No, he
think
didn't.
so.
Which
He's
is quite
among.
surprising.
Yes, there are a few surprises. I know there was a lot of talk on Twitter for another British TV show, I May Destroy You, being completely shut out,
Yeah.
which was a lot of people's favourite from last year. And yeah, this seems to be a little bit more, I don't want to say personal, but maybe a little bit more involved. We're all a little bit more informed this year because we've been watching that much more television and movies.
And Netflix, they've done really well. They've dominated this year's field of nominations. Even Emily in Paris is up for a nomination, isn't it?
Yes, that came as something of a surprise because
Me too, even though I loved it.
A lot of people loved it, but it is viewed as something as a guilty pleasure rather than your typical awards bait. Netflix itself earned 42 nominations across film and TV, more than any other studio. Although it must be said, in the case of film, that's because most of the other film studios have held back their releases. Netflix, in the world of film, have always been sort of the noisy neighbor, if you will, the outsider trying to get in on the traditional studios. This could be their year for taking the coveted Best Picture, Best Film awards. I don't know. There's some strong competition from a Fox Searchlight movie, which is Nomadland, Chloe Zhao's movie with Frances McDormand, which I think is probably the favourite. But it's never been closer for Netflix to get among those Best Show, Best Film awards that they really covet to kind of make themselves an established name in Hollywood.
Well, I think this is their year, especially as they had The Crown. And with Emma Corrin playing Princess Diana, I think perhaps she might win this one.
The Crown has been one of those awards magnets, hasn't it? It's a bit like it's just a prestige show. I think it appeals to American audiences, and of course has an inbuilt appeal to British audiences. The Crown scored six nominations, more than Schitt's Creek, which was another favourite that had 5. As you say, that saw a nomination for Emma Corrin, but also Olivia Colman, who has finished her 2-season stint as the Queen. Josh O'Connor as well for playing Prince Charles. It's been another one of those series that's just been the talk of the town, at least digitally, when it came out late last year, and it just seems like one of those shows that always seems to be among the winners, and I think it may be this year.
Yeah. And who would you give a nod to as a potential winner for any of these categories? Just choose one.
I think I would call Nomadland for best film, and I would like to see Schitt's Creek from Netflix take probably best series for comedy series because it's their final show, and that's such a wholesome kind of labor of love for the whole cast, or also the father and son writing team.
Oh, fantastic. I didn't know that. And also, it's helped a lot of people in the pandemic as well because it was a bit of light relief as well. Thank you so much, James. Have a good rest of the day. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was James Luxford, film critic for Radio Times and the Metro. The 78th Golden Globes will be broadcast on February the 28th from New York and LA for the first time, with comedians Tina Fey and Amy Poehler splitting the bi-coastal hosting duties. Fey will be live from the Rockefeller Center in Manhattan, while Poehler will present from the ceremony's usual home of the Beverly Hilton Hotel in California.